have a Thanksgiving conundrum, perhaps the Thanksgiving conundrum, and that is the turkey. Tom, get it? That's my name. Tom, the turkey. Okay. I'm going to share with you today some golden rules in roasting your Thanksgiving bird. To start off, I just want to get something working, but then we're going to get right back to the bird. And that is soaking some cheesecloth in butter and white wine. Now this is actually Martha's method of roasting her Thanksgiving bird, and it's shrouded in cheesecloth. So I have 3 sticks of unsalted butter that are melted here. And to that, I'm going to add 1 bottle of white wine. And it needs to be just as good as if you were going to drink it on its own, which it is, so that's good. And now to that, I'm gonna add 2 really wide sheets of cheesecloth and soak your cheesecloth. So while that's soaking, we're gonna tackle the bird. Now in front of me here, this is a 17 to 18 pound turkey, a fresh turkey. What you wanna do before you begin roasting your bird, you wanna make sure that you pull it out of the icebox, out of the refrigerator for at least an hour so that it doesn't come to room temperature, but it's not icy cold. A cold turkey is gonna cook unevenly in the oven, and it's gonna take even longer to cook. So this has been out for about an hour. If there's any moisture, take some paper towels and kind of blot off any moisture. And now is a very important time to season your bird. So whenever you're seasoning, you wanna make sure that you season inside the cavity as well. So I'm gonna put some salt and pepper in the center cavity here. Whenever you are getting your turkey, you wanna make sure that you're getting all of the parts of the turkey because they're necessary. We have the turkey neck, we have the liver of the turkey, we have the heart, and we have the kidneys here. And these are known as like the giblets. And what you really want to use the majority of these for is a delicious turkey stock. Now the neck, the heart, and the kidneys can go into your pot with a little bit of aromatics and some water to create a delicious turkey stock. The liver should not be put in the stock. It should be used towards the end of your gravy making process, and it should be sauteed if you so choose. So keep those notes in mind. Now, what we're gonna do to start is we're gonna tuck the wingtips underneath the bird. Now, what is this for? Well, the wingtips typically will burn in the oven if you leave them just like this. So all you're doing is taking the wingtip, you're rotating it back underneath the breast here, and you're just pushing it under the bird, and it should stay. Same thing with the other side. And what this will also do is it should hold the neck skin. This is actually where the neck of the turkey is. It should hold the neck skin down. If that is not the case and it is not doing that, you might want to secure the neck skin with some toothpicks, but this looks good. The other part of trussing is actually using a little bit of twine. And why do you truss a turkey? Well, you truss a turkey so that it keeps a nice compact shape, and that compact shape will help the turkey cook evenly in the oven. Today, I'm not stuffing this turkey. You certainly can if that's what your preference would be. Just note that a stuffed turkey will take longer to cook than an unstuffed turkey. Trim off the excess twine. I have a heavy-duty roasting pan here with a wire rack. It promotes even air circulation around the roast and also allows the dripping someplace to go without the meat kind of sitting in its own juices. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of unsalted butter. This is at room temperature, nice and soft. And I'm gonna brush this over the top of the turkey. Since we're using butter in our soaking liquid here for our cheesecloth, and because it's Thanksgiving and we're really indulging, I'm using butter on this turkey here, but you know what? If you wanted to use olive oil, you could certainly do that as well. This is just gonna create some really nice color, and it's also going to prevent the cheesecloth from sticking too much onto the turkey skin. Make sure your oven is preheated to 425 degrees. We're gonna go into a really hot oven to start because what we're really doing essentially is we're creating a sear. We're searing the turkey, we're locking in those juices. Just as you would sear a steak on the stovetop or on your grill, you start at a high heat and then you go to a relatively low heat. So we will be turning the oven down in a little bit. So I'm going to season liberally with salt and pepper. Now, you guys, if you're really into some sort of spice rub that you use around Thanksgiving, you can certainly do that here at this stage. And now it's time for the cheesecloth. So we're actually going to shroud this turkey in some cheesecloth. Again, this is Martha's favorite recipe. If you didn't want to use the cheesecloth method, which I'm doing here, you don't have to do that. But those little tricks and tips I've been telling you about, those are important details you need to know regardless of your recipe that you're using. All you're gonna do is unfold your cheesecloth and completely cover the bird. So now this goes into the oven, again, 425 degrees for 30 minutes to start. And then we're gonna reduce the oven temperature down and start the basting process. Now, you wanna make sure that you're basting the bird every 30 minutes with this wine butter mixture, keeping the cheesecloth nice and moist. Don't let it dry out too much. So, into the oven, first 30 minutes. Hey, here we go. Here's our crazy turkey after 30 minutes at 425 degrees. Now, this is the first stage in basting here. So, liberally coat the cheesecloth. You really want to keep it nice and moist. So this looks great. And now this goes back into the oven. Now you want to reduce the temperature to 350 degrees. And this will continue to cook for about 2 hours. You want to baste every half an hour, rotate your turkey so that it cooks evenly. And the last 30 minutes of cooking, I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to remove the cheesecloth. So this goes back into the oven again for about 2 hours, basting every 30 minutes. All right. So our turkey has been in for another 2 hours, and now is the time to remove the cheesecloth here. So what you want to do, this is really hot, you guys, so be careful. Use a pair of tongs. And if you've been doing your job basting, keeping this cheesecloth nice and moist, you should be able to easily lift it off. If you see that the cheesecloth is sticking to your turkey, baste it with a little bit more of the liquid and it should come off nicely. It smells really great. So now, give it one final baste here, back into the oven for about 30 minutes more. Now you want to use a digital thermometer here, you guys, and insert it into the thickest part of the thigh. The thigh is here, okay? And that should read 165 degrees. Now, I didn't mention this to you before, but this is actually another important rule. Since the dark meat takes longer to cook, if you can start your legs in first, which is the back of the oven, which is the hottest part of the oven, you should really try to do that, if your oven permits. Now, this guy's looking a little pale on the breast side here, so I'm gonna put this into the oven towards the back of the oven here so that this gets a wonderful dark golden brown color. So 30 minutes more, and then the big reveal. All right, guys, here it is, a beautiful golden brown turkey. Now, remember, you don't want to carve your turkey right out of the oven. Let this rest for at least a half an hour before you start carving it. And remember the golden rules, you guys, for roasting turkeys. You want to make sure that you're not starting off cold. If you can put those legs in the back oven, do it. Trust your turkey so that it cooks evenly in the oven, and make sure you baste it every 30 minutes and rotate it until it reads 165 degrees in the thickest part of the thigh. With those rules, tips, tricks, all of that good stuff, you should have success this year in roasting your Thanksgiving turkey, no matter what recipe you use. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, guys.